broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hello, and welcome to the Heroes Reborn after show here on AFTERBUZZ TV.
You always say it's so ominous.
This is Season 1, Episode 5, The Lion's Den. I'm talking like this without any music under me. And I'm joined, by, as always, by my illustrious, notorious panel, starting at my left.
I like that. Hi, everyone. I'm Marisa Serafini.
And I'm Khaliel Abooboo.
And I'm Jonathan Meza. I always feel weird coming after you because you always do like the sensual one, and I'm like, hi, everyone. Yeah, I'm Jonathan Meza. How you doing?
I'm Khaliel Abooboo. How's that?
And I'm Jonathan Meza.
There you go.
And, okay, we're going to speak normally now. All right. The music set the tone. This episode has 6 topics. A lot to get to. Let's start in St. Pierre. Let's start in St. Pierre, Quebec.
Okay.
Melina and Farah made it there from Antarctica last week.
They're making some serious ground.
They really do.
They're doing it.
Yeah. But you know what? Last week I was saying that Melina's power, what was I saying? She was elemental control. But it's not. Someone in our chat, someone in the chat, thank you guys for always talking to us, said she's basically the Avatar, but also the Avatar has like the energy bending, right? Mm-hmm. However, it goes further than that. Melina has wind, water, fire, earth, and she can give life, which is heart. Melina is Captain Planet.
Literally.
She is Captain Planet.
Without all those pesky kids.
Without all
those pesky kids,
she is Captain freaking Planet.
She doesn't have to deputize a bunch of...
She doesn't need the ring.
Yeah, right.
She's written by Ted Turner. Ted Turner wrote this character.
That's right.
Yes. Sweet. We covered it. No, a lot happened.
Yeah. A lot did happen.
A lot did happen.
Essentially, Farah had a contact in Quebec that was going to help them keep moving forward. They get found out by the Google Glass. The epic Google Glasses.
Yeah, Google Glasses.
And which Farah was blissfully unaware of.
Yes. Well, Antarctica, they probably don't have Twitter up there.
Like she
probably can't.
She didn't get to see the news, I guess.
No, she did
not.
not.
They announced this like, hey, Evos, we figured it out. And that's not the first person this week to have not figured out the news.
Yeah. It's that cop guy.
Yeah.
That Evos, you're going to get found out.
She didn't seem too phased, though.
No.
She's like, oh, I guess they have this new device.
Oh, I guess they know it's me now.
Maybe I should be afraid. Maybe.
But not really.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so then they have to run from, Harris and other guys with them.
Harris and Company.
Harris had a friend, and then, we got to see the Shadow.
Finally.
Yeah.
Creepy.
That was pretty cool.
Phoebe the Shadow.
That part was cool.
So... That's not confirmed as Phoebe, right? We all
this has not been confirmed.
Doesn't it look like her though? I mean, it looks like Phoebe.
Well,
I didn't see the webisode. Some of us didn't see the webisode, and have never seen Phoebe.
Okay, it looks like Phoebe.
Okay,
Phoebe.
It really does look.
And
like
IMDb could fix this real quick.
Yeah. But it really does look like Phoebe. Yeah.
Maybe.
Let's mark that as like the one positive thing I had to say today. Let's keep going.
The Phoebe looked cool?
Yes, the shadow thingy, that was cool.
The shadow looks cool. We're
That's
going to keep it
the last
positive
nice
on this
thing
one.
you'll see.
I have a question though, because her powers in the webisode series is that she controlled light and darkness, essentially.
Exactly.
But in
this
this
was emitting from her hands, which is completely different.
Yeah, and at the same time though, it seemed to stop Melina's powers. Like she couldn't use any powers against it. I'm kind of curious what's going on with that.
Then I think
she's evolved. I mean, hence Evo.
Or she creates a void.
Look at that.
Or she just creates a void of everything, including powers.
It's an interesting. Yeah, I'm looking for an explanation.
Well,
for that.
because also, sorry, in the webisodes, we see her character constantly improving and always practicing conditioning. So maybe at this point in the story, because maybe days or weeks later on, maybe it's grown to that point where going and attacking.
Even then, how does a shadow attack you? Like, what happens? You know what I mean? Like, although it was emitting from her hand, like, does it capture you?
Well,
Like,
I think a shadow I think by this point she creates almost like a dark hole or a void of nothingness.
Yeah.
Shikamaru. Thank you. Yeah, we
Because
both
that's
went
the
to
idea.
Naruto. Yeah, we did. I went Shikamaru because his shadows could actually like grab you and like choke you to death and stuff.
Shadow
so
clone
maybe that's
jutsu.
shadow clone.
And
that's
Chaos
Naruto.
13212 says she's able to turn off powers.
Yeah,
I'd buy that.
she's antimatter.
She's antimatter.
I like
Yeah.
it.
Or
I
neutralize.
like it.
Well,
A. Wilson.
neutralize.
It's A. Wilson.
A. Wilson. He's in the
Wilson,
place.
so good to see you this week, buddy.
Yeah.
She's blocking
Thanks
the
for joining
sunlight,
us.
which seems to be the source of their powers, like Superman.
Oh,
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
an interesting thought.
All the things.
I can get with that.
We've got all sorts of concepts.
And Farrah dies. Spoilers.
What she didn't.
Well,
we didn't see her
we
die
didn't
on
see it.
screen. Game of Thrones. We didn't see her die on screen, but she's been shot and either captured or killed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Farrah. I
Probably
do not
capture it.
expect to see Farrah again. And if I do, she's gonna be
In a
in that
pod.
base. She's gonna be in a pod in that basement.
Yeah.
And she hands Melina an envelope and says, "All the information's in this envelope." And Melina gets away. Never opens the envelope.
I love how she gets away when she finds like a bunch of wood and a very like convenient blanket, and no one. And then she totally does Frodo and Sam from Lord of the Rings and just throws it over herself. And it's not an elvish cape, okay? It doesn't. Like, it's just a dirty blanket.
Oh,
I'm not here. Only microphones.
Where'd
Khalil,
Khaleil
guys,
go?
we lost Khaleil. We lost
He's
Khaleil.
gone.
Only microphones.
but
Surprise!
she was there when they had the headset, when they had the Google glasses on,
Yes.
and saw both of them. She knows they can see her.
Yeah. Right.
A blanket is not going to protect you.
No.
Maybe it does.
But then the fact that truck got out of town real quick.
That's
not
the only.
Yeah.
That's
That's
important.
a saving grace.
And the only it's not.
dirty blanket. How did they know my weakness?
Also, A. Wilson does have a point. Farrah's death is serving to make Melina grow up.
That's true.
That's if you make a superhero an orphin.
Also,
there are a lot of
in a
superhero
way,
orphans.
Yeah, in a way, you can see that would be the conclusion to Farrah because she gave away something like, in a way, a parting gift. So what else would Farrah had to offer for her character?
I guess that was it.
That's
the training
pretty
and an
much
envelope.
it, yeah.
A training and then an envelope with all the information.
Everything you need to know.
You know,
Everything I can't tell you.
It's
is
totally going to be Kung Fu Panda. It's just going to be like a blank thing with her reflection. And it's going to be like, you are the answer. Damn you, heroes.
You will find it from within. So let's go from St. Pierre, Quebec, all the way down to Illinois. Illinois.
Illinois,
Tommy- where-
make some noise.
Where Tommy the transporter is, and we learn that his name might not be Tommy.
Yeah.
And it's
Nathan.
So what's his real name then?
Nathan.
Is it
Nathan.
Someone called him Nathan. His mom
I've
called him
said
Nathan.
from the beginning, he's a Petrelli. He is a Petrelli.
Oh, Nathan Jr.
That's what I'm saying. He's a Petrelli.
I'm saying
didn't- I
Siler,
just put
but
that
still
Well,
together.
Nathan,
Petrelli.
as
Simon.
we know, is very fertile.
Yes.
Ah.
Yeah.
And he can sleep around.
He gets around. Step
Although-
up, step up, step up.
Well, also, I think Nathan had enough. Nathan had old enough kids in the original series that it wouldn't be unrealistic that one of them sired a child. Like, that makes just as much sense to me. Or Peter. Peter got down. Like,
Did he?
Peter? I think Peter didn't. Peter didn't not get down.
Yeah.
Peter looks like he can get.
Yeah.
He can
He's
make
got
it
some
happen.
swag.
Peter can get what he wants, but Tommy is with Agent Cutler. And Agent Cutler has a bunch of names on a wall. We check them. They're not important other than Mahinder Suresh, and that 4 of them are dead.
Yeah.
We checked them, guys.
Don't worry.
Yeah, it's true. We did.
I
Or-
meant to Google one of the names, and they're probably staff writers.
Yeah, or will we see them in the future?
Or that they.
Staff writers or production, yeah, I can give
Yeah,
that
like I
too.
could see that that's just like
Couple
an homage
PAs
to
in there.
some PAs, some key
You
grips.
guys work hard.
That's right.
Hey, they
guys-
don't get enough credit, man.
You guys work
Who
hard.
are
You're
they?
They,
They got their names on
You
there.
two,
Wow.
you two worked hard. You're going to be the 2 right below Mahinder Suresh, not the deceased ones.
There's always that one PA. He's like, "Can I do it?" Yeah, but you're gonna be the dead one.
Right.
He's like, "Oh, it's always me."
I'd want that actually,
Yeah, that'd be all right with me.
because there are a lot of names on there. There's only 4 dead ones.
Yeah.
But not to get caught up on the board, because we learn a lot from Cutler. We learn that he is an
ATF.
ATF agent, an alcohol,
Tobacco firearms.
tobacco firearms, but the EVOS division, and that it's mandatory for everyone to register, and that they put a tracker in your arm, and if you flee, they'll come and find you. And Tommy flees, and they don't come and find him.
And he went all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Pennyman, because Cutler was pressing him for information he didn't have, told him his mom's been lying to him his whole life, and then A, expected the kid not to run, and then B, Pennyman shows up, and we don't know what Pennyman told Cutler, because Cutler and the ATF wasn't on Tommy's case anymore.
Oh, maybe that's why though.
Yeah, the Pennyman had to have done something.
Yeah, Pennyman
Now it
took
makes
what you know how he does, like just like he did with the other interrogation. He
we
stole
don't
the
know
thoughts
how
or
he
whatever.
does.
Well, we don't know exactly, but we know that the guy afterwards was like, what kid? For an episode 1, this is Pennyman's ability. So whatever he did to that guy, he just did to Cutler.
Yep.
And Cutler is
Yeah, and we still don't know his exact ties to Tommy and his mother.
Because
don't know
Tommy doesn't know how to ask questions.
Oh dear Lord.
No.
Well, a couple things.
He knows how to flee.
Tommy flees,
annoyed.
goes to his house that they're renting, and finds out that they're being evicted, and they have 30 days. And as someone who's been evicted, that's not how that works. You get 30 days to pay your rent or quit, and then they contact your sheriff, and then it takes 90 days for the sheriff to evict you. And landlord can't just do that. At least in the state I'm currently living in.
But this is Illinois.
This is Illinois, and then Evo law may have changed tenant law
Yeah.
to get people out of there, to streamline the process. But still 30 days, that's a lot of time to get out. Especially, but he goes home, then he sees the girl. Just all this Tommy angst.
Tommy angst
About everyone's lying to me. You've also just been registered as an Evo. You don't know who the Pennyman is. And by the way, 96% of the world's population is about to die. You don't know that. We're not holding that to you.
And you have a tracking device now in your wrist.
arm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you have no idea that the Pennyman is stopping the ATF from finding you. You're just running. You're just being an immature little kid, and then you go and talk to your mom.
And he's
So
more hurt that
annoyed.
his mother didn't tell him the truth.
And
Exactly.
and didn't ask her the right questions
At all.
for us and himself. But us first.
At all.
Because main question, Mom, who is my father? I was protecting you.
Okay,
That's
protecting
great.
me from
That's
what?
great. That's great. I'm old enough now.
Yeah.
Registered.
Yeah.
We're evicted, by the way.
Yeah.
How do we?
How do
Who
we
is
deal
it?
with this?
Nathan Mitrelli? There's this guy with a beard who thinks it's Siler. He's on the internet.
Yeah.
I think it's Siler.
You think it's Siler? I'm going with Nathan Petrelli. I like this prediction. That's a good prediction.
Who's saying Peter?
Anyone?
I go with Peter.
You go with
All
Peter?
right, I got a
All
Peter.
right.
I'll put money on
Marissa,
I
you're
wanna go with
the
Nathan.
odd one out right now.
I want to
Nathan?
go with Nathan.
So it's 2
though.
votes Nathan,
Two,
1 vote.
yeah.
I
One
mean,
vote Peter, 1 vote Siler.
Nathan had a blonde child, so it's very possible he could have another blonde child.
And just like everyone's saying in the chat, Nathan liked to get down.
Nathan did like to get down.
He got busy.
Busy
Wow.
Wizzy. I just made that happen. I said Busy Wizzy.
See, look, Lydia. Thank you, Lydia. Welcome back.
Somebody's on me
Petrelli.
with Peter. Somebody's on me with
Okay,
Peter.
you got another one on Peter.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Siler,
Thank
guys.
you.
You say you're the only one. If it's Siler, dude, you win. That was huge. That's a huge prediction.
Also, given the way they ended the original,
gonna give anything
given the
to
way
Siler?
they ended the original series, it could still be Nathan. We just don't. They interchanged them at some point. I think, but I think we've covered the main points here.
Yeah.
He almost found out who the Pennyman is and what his relation is to him. Almost found out who his dad is. Almost found out why his mom has been moving him and how important he is to this whole thing.
Sorry.
And instead of staying to find that information, he just poofs away.
And found nothing. The only thing he did find, it was like that moment, hey, I've been watching you for a year. Are you my dad? No. Fine, I'm leaving. I was like, what?
Didn't even ask that.
He did. He did ask, are you my father?
He literally was like, "So you my dad?"
Yeah. What do you say when you meet a nice man? Are you my daddy? That's what Tommy's gonna do.
I
Are you my
think-
daddy?
I think that's where we're gonna end it with.
Okay.
With
I don't
Tommy.
think he
Let's move on.
asked. The Pennyman just clarifies, like, first of all, I am not your father.
Right.
No, it wasn't me.
Well,
You were
no,
not
it's
the
me.
father.
He didn't
You
really
were not
ask.
the father.
because
You were
Pennyman
not the
said he
father.
wasn't.
Are we gonna have Mari? Is there gonna be a very special episode of
Maury
Mari
Povich.
of this in
We
this
need
week?
one. We need
I
one.
would. Oh, I love that.
jeez.
Moving on, we now moved to
on.
East Los Angeles.
Okay.
El Vengador.
El Vengador.
El Batman. I don't know how to say it.
El
Bat and-
Iron Man suit.
El
should've
Iron
known
Man, Batman, Iron Man in East LA. Kid's gone. Priest is gone. He goes to the police station because he knows who took him. And the cops find the Epic glasses.
No,
They received them. They find them in a box that they ordered.
Hey, we got it.
It was the type of thing. So Deary knew that the Epic glasses were coming into his department. I mean, obviously he knew it, but all of a sudden he was like, "Oh my gosh, they'll be able to find me out." Like, didn't you get a rundown? Did you get a memo that these are what the Epic glasses are going to do?
Yeah, like what has he been up to that he didn't? Like these people were in Antarctica. Like Melina and Farrah were in Antarctica. They have a pretty good excuse for not knowing Epic's coming.
Yeah.
Like you work in a police station in one of the biggest cities in the country. Yes. Bro. All I gotta say is, bro.
I left my phone in the car.
Oh my gosh.
They put on the Epic glasses.
It was so stupid.
They put on the Epic glasses, and to no surprise to anyone, he's an Evo.
Yeah.
And they cuff him and say, "Man, I really wish you had told us before that, because now you know what we have to do."
We got to do to you, right?
Yep.
And
What do you have to do?
Well, so
So
drive
sad
away
how
in
they
the car.
turn on their own
register,
brother,
yeah, like
you know?
register him with the proper authorities, and then let his landlord know so that he can get evicted. So he can get
He can
evicted
get
in a
evicted.
reasonable amount of time. Nope, they put him in the back of they put him in a paddy wagon,
Basically.
drive him away,
That's when El Vengador.
and El Vengador, who was waiting in the lobby,
Yeah, that's right.
You knew.
so watched it go down. Comes in.
Can I add to that? That police station looked a lot like a coffee shop. I did not know we were in a police station when he walked
That
in.
was a very
That
unique.
was a very clean. police
very
station.
colorful, bright.
There are some.
It felt.
There are some more
LA.
artsy.
It felt
There are
more
some
like-
artsy police stations in
It
Los
felt
Angeles.
like Google's lobby.
Are there?
That's something I would think like Google would look like.
Oh, I like A. Wilson. They were going to sell them on the black market. Boom.
I like that.
Yep. Boom goes the
Okay.
dynamite. Well done,
That's
A.
right.
Wilson.
That's what Dirty Cops would do.
Yep. They're going to sell them on
but
the black
if he
market.
was, oh no, he ran with the dirty. Oh, right, right.
Yeah.
Good
Especially
job, A.
since,
Wilson.
especially
Yeah.
since he ran with the Dirty Cops. I like that, A. Wilson. That at least makes sense.
Yep.
Or
Alright.
Going to sell them on the black market.
just,
That's good.
They just drive him up to the black market.
Yes.
It's 3 bucks.
Oh, great. Now we got to go to East LA to the black market. Oh,
You gotta
geez.
find some Evos.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, El Vengador puts on his Batman voice.
You know, I felt like I wish you would have had.
Tell me, or not tell me. I'm going to find out. I don't know.
Where are they? Where are Rachel? Where's Rachel?
I'm kidding.
But he
It wasn't
didn't do it.
that
He
bad.
didn't-
It
he
was
didn't
an
use a voice.
original.
Yeah, he didn't use a voice.
It was a very original voice.
Yeah. We all okay. So when we were all watching, there was that moment when when El Vengador is about to speak, and we all kind of had like a deep breath, like a like a gasp, like, is he going to use a Batman voice? Is he going to do it?
Yep.
And he didn't do it though. He didn't go there.
Not right.
Yeah.
He just used a superhero voice. He
Yeah.
used an El Vengador voice, and pretty much said, "I could let you rot, or you can take me to my friends."
Yeah.
He somehow needed to think about this, but eventually decided, "I'm going to take you to my friends."
Yeah.
Next week.
Next week.
Next week.
Next week.
Next week.
We've got too much to do in this
It's
episode.
all over.
I think the best part of that scene was when he made him go back into the trunk, and he was like, "Really?"
Yep.
It's like, yeah, all right. That you had your one
That's true.
comedic moment that had a payoff.
That's true. That was good. I didn't. Strike number 2 is something positive I've said today.
There you go.
And Saeed says there's some really nice police stations here in Portland. Yeah, that ain't LA, buddy. That ain't LA.
Speaking of which, speaking of next week
Yeah.
of Portland, speaking of next week in Portland and also in every city you can think of, you can go on DraftKings.com
Oh yes.
and do
Yeah.
1 week fantasy football. That's 1 week fantasy football. Fantasy football, normally 16 weeks.
Yep.
That's a lot of weeks.
And it's a really cool thing. It's really fun. I actually have a lineup set this week. I've got $3 on it for a possibility of winning $10,000. We'll see, God willing.
Who's your roster? Do you have
What was
anybody?
it? I'm not telling you my roster. That's my roster.
Okay.
But
Oh,
I will say you can go set your roster. You could get a quick breakdown on DraftKings.com. It's really cool. I believe we have a code for you guys to use.
We do have a code for you guys to use. You gotta get a pen and paper. This is
This is
really
tough. Write
difficult.
this down.
Hurry
Buzz.
up.
PUZZ. It's a really difficult code.
And you probably wouldn't get that from the title of AfterBuzz, but
And you can hurry
just so you know.
on over to DraftKings.com. Use the promo code BUZZ to get a free shot at $1 million in this week's Millionaire Maker event.
That's right.
And I'm pretty sure
And they do
you
that
can
every
use
week.
$1 million.
They make
They
a
do it every
millionaire.
week. Every week they make a new millionaire. Yeah, 75
week.
million a week they give
I need
away.
to do this.
Wow.
79 million in total.
Because a lot of people play. Because it's awesome. It's
Football's
DraftKings.
amazing.
Yeah.
DraftKings.com. Some people don't have 16 weeks.
Yeah.
They need a week.
To be a millionaire.
And
Yeah.
not even a whole Thursday to Monday week. Like you can do.
Actually, they actually have DraftKings things where you could just do the weekend games, or you could just do the Thursday games. They actually have breakdowns for all sorts of things, including League of Legends. You could actually,
Really?
yeah, you could actually do a breakdown of League of Legends and do a lineup for it and try to win money that way. It was a $1,000 prize that I was going for on a League of Legends draft. I lost.
What's that code again? Just in case they didn't hear it the first
code
time.
at DraftKings.com is BUZZ. Go there, help us out, help yourself out, make some money, give us some. No,
Yeah.
you can keep
You
it.
keep it.
You can
I
keep
could use it.
it. So we're gonna go to East LA to wherever Luke lives. They never told us.
Oh yeah, they never told us.
He was able to bring
Wait,
his
East
child.
LA? He was in East LA?
No,
we're
we're
gonna go
moving-
from LA.
Oh, East LA. Okay,
Wherever
okay.
Luke lived with his child
And his
ran
wife.
And his
and
crazy
his
wife.
and his wife and ran a dentistry practice somewhere. I'm gonna say Texas because like he would have been close to Odessa.
We were once dentists and now we're mercenaries.
That's why
So
I
not?
am your dentist.
Oh man, you've been holding on to that.
Oh yeah.
He was
whole
singing it
Mark?
earlier.
Well, he wasn't gonna have it.
Yeah.
Can't call for it. You just do it.
Yeah. It was fantastic.
So Luke goes back to where he used to live before he traveled the country as a mercenary. Some things choke him up about his son.
When he
Some things are
presses, when he
forced
pressed
about
the
his
thing,
son.
the little book. I love you, Dad. You're the best dad ever.
Very forced.
I
Fair.
love you, Dad.
You want to jump on this one, Marisa?
Okay.
Yeah.
I will. I get the whole sentimentality aspect you're trying to bring, and we know that he's grieving. We've seen it all these episodes, and now to have things upon things, and they're just literally nailing it on the head and like pounding it into us. He lost his son. We should feel bad. He's watching his home videos. He's looking at old photos. Do we feel bad? Yes, we get
Of course we feel bad.
He lost his son.
But jeez.
The
How many
VO
times do you have to say it though?
and
Yeah.
the VO on that book.
Oh
was
yeah.
Oh, so bad.
I just couldn't.
I love you, Dad. You're the best dad ever.
That PA got fired after he did that video. Yeah. No, it was
Best daddy.
It was totally something that I mean, it went on for the entire episode. It went way too long. It really did. They beat us over the head with it. It just seemed like you could have given us just a couple scenes of that and really hit it home, and it was been impactful. Maybe just one would have been fine, and that would have been it. And then he burns the place down and moves on. But it was a whole episode's worth of that. Every time we went back to him, it was the same thing over and over. It was filler for me. It was time killer.
It really was. And the fact that like now he's burning a picture of both his wife and his son. Now I think it's his way of physically and deliberately saying these two are not in my life anymore.
But he takes the boat.
Of course he takes
he takes the boat.
Yeah.
A. Wilson.
Because
kinda
we built that.
A. Wilson sums up my thoughts. Luke's storyline was probably the most coherent in this episode, but we should have had
True.
it happen three episodes ago.
ago.
Also, I don't think Dennis is dead. I think Dennis is dead.
Wait, Dennis?
That's
Dennis is
his son.
The son.
Yeah.
He was in Odessa.
Yeah.
That would be retconning. I guess your
I mean,
first comment, A. Wilson.
I can
Yeah.
get with that
I'm with him
because
being dead.
every single episode they tell us he's dead. Us as audience really haven't seen him die. So
But-
there is the possibility he might be alive.
But if he's alive, that would kind of take away a lot of Luke's stakes for this whole
If
time.
he was alive, then we wouldn't need all these things upon things and all these remembrance of that. He's
Yeah,
dead.
if that would really, it would be like real. If he was alive, it's like we wasted all this time, doing this, trying to. I would want to kill him myself.
Yeah, like
I would
you-
kill Luke's son. I would kill Luke's
You
son.
would kill Dennis?
I would kill that little child, and I'd be like, you go back to your storyline, Luke. You go back to what you were written to do.
You go back to having serious problems with likely killing your son dies.
I would not kill anyone's son. That's
in real
no,
life.
please.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Even a
no.
fictional
Even if
characters?
well, okay. If
Fictional
they put
one.
me in heroes, okay, we'll see.
Get out of here.
Speaking of putting yourself into things. Into media. Speaking of putting yourself into media,
Okay. Didn't know where you were going.
we're gonna spend the rest of this episode because we cover up Luke pretty nice. He
Yeah.
buys really nice picture frames and then really cheap carpet.
And
Yes.
he burns down a really nice house. What?
Ultimately a nice house, but that picture frame takes a really long time to go up. And then he drops it on the carpet, and that carpet is like literally like tinder. Like just it's a kerosene coated carpet.
And it's white, so we can tell it burns fast too. It's so bad.
But let's just jump into Miko and Ren, who are at Midi in Colorado. We'll be spending the rest of our time here.
I'm gonna take this away
Yeah,
from you.
take it.
We're
Take it.
Yeah.
We're going to be spending the rest of our time
Getting
here talking
violent
about
over
Midi in Colorado in Renaltis, and we'll start with Miko and Ren. Their plan to successfully start a flash mob in front of Renaltis and then to get led into the gate of Renaltis worked. Once again, because Molly Walker's dead.
It's a Trojan horse.
Once again, because Molly Walker's dead, because otherwise they could look from above
Yes.
and just pinpoint
And dead.
who Miko is and figure it out. But because that's not the case, because Molly Walker's not alive, they don't have that ability. So they just have the epic glasses that like literally have to look. And there's a PR problem of just rounding up, just killing all the Katana girls, which I feel like Harris wanted to do.
Yes. Would have made for a great episode. Would have made for a really good episode.
Harris
Would have really
massacring
helped.
all the Katana girls, cosplaying Katana girls.
That would have
Missed
helped.
opportunity. There we go.
There were definitely some odd things in this whole portion. Some things that I actually liked in the actual Katana girl herself, where you never actually catch her with the Google glasses.
Yeah.
So my theory still stands that she's not. She's not a real person. So because he's
real
never
person.
actually saw her. However, there were some odd directing or maybe choreography things that happened, like when he turns around and sees one of the Katana girls and he has the glasses on, but he still grabs her and just, like pulls her away so that Katana girl could jump to the other side. And I was like, why? He didn't need to do that. He's looking right at her, and the glasses are saying it's not. It was a little odd.
Running through the glass window.
Oh. Are we going to jump there? Are we going to jump to the glass window?
They-
We're gonna jump through the glass
I'm
window.
sorry. Let's
Let's
okay.
just-
Let's
get
there.
Let's get the click.
Let's get there.
The quick point that happened, which was they get into the gate, notice the sword being put into a truck by another Harris.
Too simple.
Too simple. And then I immediately write, that's a decoy sword. They're just trying to lead the actual Katana girl away from Renaltis, and they're keeping the real sword there with all the men with guns and like the multiple the majority of the Harrises.
One would think.
That would have been much better than what we saw.
Then let's just take the sword of the house. That's what she said to do. Let's go do that, right?
Yep. Let's try to do that. We take it to Erica's house, and
Erica, man.
without talking about what else is happening at Erica's house, Miko runs into Erica's house, crashes through a window.
Facepalm.
Yeah, pretty much.
Crashes through the window,
Bad.
breaks up a bit of a standoff.
It's like a student film.
It was really kind of that bad. It would look kind of like a student film. I know we talked about the CGI last week, and we had a couple people write in about get over the CGI. But guys, this is a big budget show.
That's a window.
Yeah, this should look a lot better.
And she went face first. You'd think she'd be all scratched.
It was bad. It looked really terrible. It was one of those moments that took us all out of the show, I think, for a moment.
That said, we're still enjoying the overall journey you're taking us on. But sometimes King Glass windows look like glass windows.
Yeah.
And if
Yeah.
if they can't look that way, don't put people through them.
Can we just open it regularly?
They probably would have
slide it open?
They probably would have saved a lot more money with practical effects using sugar glass windows.
Yeah, that's a great point.
There you go.
Thank you, Marissa.
Unless they're trying to say that Miko's not a real person.
That's what I'm
starting
saying. We got a lot of people in the chat asking about is Miko a real person or is she a program?
We're not
Is
sure.
she digital?
No.
I'm still with the mentality she's not a real person.
That would help a lot, though.
That would help me with the glass a little.
That would
that she digitized
that would totally
to the
make
glass.
sense. Yes,
while breaking
that would
through
totally
it.
make
And
sense.
the fact she didn't have human, and
the
cuts
fact
on
that
her.
she could fight like a video game character without any context for how.
Yeah.
I'm kind of hoping. I'm actually, from a story perspective, I'm kind of hoping she's a digital creation.
Yes.
And there was
now
that
I'm on
one
board.
quick moment when she jumped the fence. Not to go back to that, but when she jumped, it was very video game like. So.
Starting to see that. Huh?
And if she's a real life video game character, I'm all board. I'm
on board for that.
Then cool.
I'm on board.
All right.
I'm sorry. So Lydia, she should have just bounced off the glass. That would have been hilarious.
But the slow mo. Did anybody else see? That's how I felt because of the pacing of that slow mo and that shot they used of the straight on. It literally looked like, is she gonna bounce off the glass?
Yeah, she should have.
I think she's just literally just gonna hit that glass. It's
It was
just a little
face
Asian
first.
girl.
It was face first.
I get it. She gets the sword, escapes the house,
Too simple.
and then I'm like, oh well, it's not the real sword. She opens the sword. It's the real sword. She goes into the video game. It's not a decoy. And now she's in the video game away from Erica and Renaltis and a army of Harrises. Harris, comma, because there's two S's at the end of Harris. Harris is. She's in the video game and she's gonna make it to the tower and hopefully the cure to a solar flare is in that tower because that's the big problem.
I have no idea.
And now on to Noah.
You were on to Noah Quentin.
Noah Bennett.
Because there's really
Noah,
nothing
Quentin,
else I can say.
Erica,
about that.
the Harrises, Taylor, the meat, the potatoes. You guys know I like to keep this for the end because then it segues us into predictions nice and easy. Love Quentin.
Love Noah.
Funny.
Both of them
Yeah.
are like
Saving the show right now.
Yeah.
saving it. Like
They are the
not all
constant.
heroes wear capes, guys.
Some of them have beards and suits.
And glasses.
Noah and Quentin, they flip Taylor. They're running around Renaltis. They pretty much find out that all those containers that I did see last week, and I really should have pushed pause and Googled what any of those things were, and I kind of would have known we were already at a seed bank.
Yeah.
But they did that work for me the next week. It's a seed bank. The Harrisati, I like that, A. Wilson.
Yep.
It's a seed bank.
Illuminati.
In Latin.
It's a seed
I
bank,
don't
and
know
all the
if that
seeds are
has
in
any
Latin.
relevance.
I don't know.
I don't
know if that
know.
would have any.
Maybe.
I think that might have relevance because maybe early botanists were Latin.
Yeah, early.
Yeah, or I don't know.
One of them, the container when they were hiding after or behind was Solanum lycopersicum. Sorry,
Got
I
it.
totally.
There it is.
Thank you.
Yeah, that. I don't know if that
Dr.
has
Google
relevance
that.
either.
Once we figure
Google
out
that
to
for
spell
us.
Lycopersicum.
But it's Noah figures
Number
it out
3.
pretty quick. This is a seed bank, and Renaltis is planning on repopulating the world or repopulating a world. Okay.
And we get to find out why.
Yes, and we do get to find out why.
Yes.
Which is they're taking the seeds and running a simulation with them? Or is the simulation separate? The simulation seems separate.
We know that they've teleported the seeds somewhere else now.
So they're teleporting the seeds to the other Earth.
I guess so.
or just another
Where,
place.
yes, to wherever,
Mars.
yeah, because
The colonized Mars, the other Earth.
because the solar flare is coming and it's gonna kill everyone.
But they didn't realize how soon the solar flare was coming.
Yes, that's right.
Apparently the solar flare is coming like tomorrow.
In a couple days, I
A couple 7 days, said 7 days.
7 days. They have a week.
But
So we have a week.
a very short period of time, and we have 8 episodes.
We're on 5, 8 episodes
We
to
have
go.
8 episodes.
7 days, 8 episodes.
There you go.
7 days, 8 episodes. So one episode will span 2 days, and then everything else will span a day.
All right.
There you go.
The writers are literally forcing themselves to move forward.
Or we might move back.
The writers are forcing themselves to move forward.
Please, just go somewhere.
You know, okay, so this episode, they really forced a lot of story, and it really felt forced. Last episode I was not crazy about. Obviously, I reiterated that point many times over. This time I was not crazy about this episode either. It was not the most pleasant of episodes, but I did at least like that they were trying to move something along, even if it was just overtly forced. At least we were getting something going.
feel
I know
like-
Khaliel was very unhappy.
Honestly,
unhappy.
the pole shifting didn't feel that forced. Like, that felt like something that had been in the works the whole time. That felt that felt correct. It was a lot of the other stuff that felt really forced. Like, hey, we got to be here by this time. Let's just do it.
My
And also,
biggest
it
issue.
would. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
It would make sense if the poles are shifting and reversing. It would make sense that there are environmental changes as
Yes.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hence
Totally.
Aurora
And they're
Borealis.
blaming the Evos, whether or not the
For
Evos
this.
are to be
Yeah.
to blame. Anyway, Noah and Quentin Taylor get Erica into Erica's house, where Harris shows up with the sword, and then Miko comes in and gets the sword. Taylor, whatchamacallit, approaches Erica about everything, about the lying. She gets accused of being a junkie. That was actually I enjoyed that scene.
Yeah,
of
that's
just, like, kind of letting your daughter screw up so she can never figure you out, kind of a thing.
You always use it
Trusted
against
in
her.
Yeah, be
Always
trusted.
use it against her. Yeah.
Yeah, there's always a card to play.
And I feel like Taylor's performance was very forced, especially when she was making the phone call to her mother, and then she hangs up. She's like, "I'm very good at fake
I
crying."
actually was okay with
I was
that.
okay with
Yeah,
that.
that
I was
bothered me.
okay with that.
Taylor's
I was
a
like,
manipulative.
You don't need to say that. Just do it.
No,
Don't say
what you
it.
don't need to
acknowledge
say
it.
is, you had your memory wiped, all to protect what?
She's about to tell
You
you.
mean who?
She's about to
She
tell
was
you.
about to.
Yeah.
Okay. Noah gets a nice big exposition scene with Erica that doesn't expose much.
Doesn't expose
ex-
anything.
Not a damn thing.
But Erica clearly has the answers.
Yeah.
Primatech
And she
took
was
over.
about to give it to you.
Renaltis took over Primatech. Noah worked with Erica. Noah remembers Erica, but he doesn't remember any of the important information. He had his memory wiped to protect himself. To protect
to protect
us.
someone.
who?
Your prediction I love.
Yes.
That
so
this is a wraparound.
before we get right into we'll be in predictions in about 1 minute. Let's just cover everything. We'll pretty much get to everything in this one with Erica. Noah. We pretty much get left to know there's going to be a solar flare because the poles are reversing, and that I don't know how that causes a solar flare. I'm not a scientist, but apparently it causes a solar flare, and the solar flare is going to wipe out the entire population.
Yeah, hey, if you guys out there watching, if you want to, give us a little information on that, I mean, we'll probably look it up after this. But if you guys have anything right now, you could throw it at us. It'd be nice.
Please,
Yeah.
that would be great. 'Cause
About-
just about how geomagnetic poles work and if they cause solar flares. Is it correct, incorrect? I kind of want to know some of this science,
Yeah.
and we'd love to talk about it next week.
That'd be great.
Hopefully Tommy doesn't stop it by then. And that's where they leave us.
Yeah.
That's
That's where they leave us.
that's where they leave us. That we have 8 episodes in 7 days to solve the world.
Yeah.
Just the whole world. Is this?
I'm going to stick with this line that I love. Forget the past, save the future.
That's a good line.
Great line.
And with that line, I think it's time.
For predictions.
Your AFTERBUZZ TV predictions.
All right, who wants to start?
I'll start it off.
Go for it.
Going with the same prediction I've been going with these last 4 episodes. Hashtag Claire ain't dead.
Hashtag Claire's dead.
Let's see. Tommy is a Petrelli. Tommy's Nathan Petrelli's son. We said that earlier in the episode, and also so I've got Tommy, and I've also got Katana Girl is not a person, but she is a.
I like both of
she's
those
a digital.
predictions.
Yeah, she's
I like them.
digital love, baby.
Interesting.
Daft Punk.
I'm thinking Erica, heading Renatus and whatnot, and how they're using Evo's powers. I think that she's trying to duplicate these powers and to save the human race. In her own way. Granted, we see that she's now has teleportation of some sort. Mm-hmm. So maybe she's teleporting her own people, and then she might get her hands on Melina. And I said it last week, Melina's going to help restore everything. So in what way? Who knows?
All right, Doctor Who fans, bear with me.
Okay.
It's a time loop. And as of this moment, it's just timey-wimey and loopy, and we don't need to get too much into it. But the Noah we know right now, within the next 8 episodes, the remaining 8 episodes, he will go back to the day Claire died and say something to that other Noah that will set everything in motion. It'll be a time loop. Also, that technology is known by Renaltis, and that's where they're sending the seeds. I think they've figured out teleportation to a point that they can teleport themselves to another Earth in either a multiverse or just a different timeline. Thank you.
I like it, actually. I really dig
also,
this.
Tommy is Siler's son. Yeah. Miko is not a real person. And Greg Gumberg, Matt Parkman will sort this out. And Hiro Nakamura will all be there to sort this out in the next coming weeks.
And Micah.
Yeah.
Micah's technology, so...
We're getting the band back together.
We actually need some Micah. We are getting the band back together. Yeah, I think that just about covers everything.
Wow.
You know, there was something, what was it, some girl said, I think she was unhappy with something that I said last week, but still called me hot, so whoever that was, thank you.
Serenity Q26, John is so snarky, but kind of hot at the same time.
I'm snarky and hot. Thanks, Serenity.
I love how you have that queued up.
Marissa,
all right.
Between now and next week, where can the people find you?
You can follow me on Twitter at Serafini TV.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Khaliel Abooboo.
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at KaibaCat, and I will make sure I say plenty of snarky things for you.
You guys can find me on Twitter at Steve Kaufmann. That's KAUFMANN. If you're up really late tonight, you can join me on at Midnight's Periscope, where I'll be reading Moby Dick live. That's a real
serious?
That's a real thing that's
the whole
happening.
thing?
You're gonna get through the first sentence?
No, they're doing like 2 days worth of a live stream and people are tagging in and out.
Good
but I will be
Lord.
there tonight helping out.
Good Lord.
Join me if you're awake.
I'll
Please
make
do
your
not stay up
coffee.
for it.
I'll make your
Thank you so
coffee.
much. I will join you all next week.
That's crazy.
Thank you and good night.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.